Oh shoot, we're live. And no, and I did start the starter thing. Where is it? Hi,
That's
Mandy.
okay. Good morning. We don't need a starter thing. It's
We're not going to do it today. No intro. 3, 2, 1, go. Here we are. I changed the background. Aren't I clever? There we go.
Funny.
I didn't press the intro.
That's okay. Happy 2024.
This couldn't have been the better way for us to start this.
You are not wrong. You are not wrong. Not wrong. Also, my hair is hanging in my face today, so we're going to have to see if that can not happen. Okay, let's tuck it.
There we go. This is not how we usually start it, but that's okay. We already said that. So this January is 2003. You said that too.
2024.
2024. I know. I have to get used to that. Like there's a 4 at the end of our year.
I know.
It's weird.
It is incredibly weird. It is incredibly weird.
And it's the first Saturday of the month.
I know.
So that means it's a Doodle and Chat classy. And when you and I talked about, when you and I talked about what we wanted to do this month, were we going to mix it up? Were we going to try something different? There's lots of things out there on the interwebs about how you can welcome in your new year. And all of them are really great. I think people connect with things that are good for them. But you and I keep leaning towards the same one that we had last year, which was leave, keep, gain. And so you and I decided that we would welcome in the new year, maybe even make this a New Year tradition at Doodle and Chat. And we're going to do leave, keep, gain, but we've decided to put a little twist on it. So not just the same way that we did it last year, but I don't think we ever are like that, No,
and I think it's good to see that you can take the same idea and do it different ways. I did that in my classroom all the time.
I love that.
Same idea year after year, but just change it up a little bit because you know what works and what doesn't, or just because you want to offer more choices.
Agreed. Or your learners are different, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
good morning, Monica.
Yes, good morning. She's sitting by the fire. Is it really cold enough where you're at, Monica, for you to have a fire, or is the fire on just because you want to have your coffee by your fire?
It's cold enough at my house to have a fire, so
it is cold enough. It's snowing where we're at. I'm pretty sure because Monica goes way back for both of us. Monica lives in the South, so I don't know that it's snowing where she's at, but a fire does sound delightful.
So we have 3 to 4 inches on the ground outside because that snow that's at Carrie's was at ours last night. So
yes,
it's Tennessee cold.
So it's like 70.
Yeah. Hey, James. Happy New Year to you.
Yay. So we're taking our leave, keep, gain, and we're adding a twist to it, which is really exciting. I'm excited for it. I got to be honest with you when we were talking about this, and I think Mandy leaned into it too. It's either going to be wonderful or it's going to be a hot mess. I don't know. Hopefully there's an in between, like way to welcome in people. Like that keeps me staying, Carrie. But I think we wanted to try this new twist, and you know what? There's only one way to learn, right? You got to try. So we're taking our leave, keeps, gain activity, which is talking about what you want to leave in the old year, what you want to keep from 2023, and what you'd like to gain from 2024. And so we're switching it up in a couple of different ways. The first way is the organizer. So last year, you and I picked symbols, right?
Yep.
We had containers to hold things. So this year it's more structured in columns. The other change that we're making is, if you can see, I have paper and Mandy's on Canva, because we thought that maybe showing how you could use icons on a digital device would be a wonderful way for kids to use it. And a lot of schools are using Canva. I love Canva. Like I
do too.
I'm obsessed, like a game changer.
Yeah.
In terms of creativity. And I try to get my students on there as much as I can, because it's so accessible in terms of like images and things like that. And then the third way that we changed it up is in our classy activity, which you can get to in the show notes. And if you can't, just reach out to one of us and we'll get it to you. You can also get it by subscribing to our newsletter. Every month you get the classy in there. But we have a list of words that I went through There's 2 pages of words. We're not using all of them. So you can't, I hold that up to the light and it gets bad. So you can, the way Mandy and I envision this is you can cut them up and put them in a bowl. What a great way to bring this into your classroom. You could start having your own classroom bowl. You could hold anything really that you want to of randomness, or you could project these. And what I did was I went through a lot of one word lists and kind of tried to pick the ones that work well. At least I think so. To almost all students, trying to be respectful of their backgrounds and where they might be presently, and that it's a new year and we don't want it to be super heavy. So I tried to be respectful of that. But teachers could also go on that. I mean, it's 2 pages. It could be super overwhelming for students too. So teachers could go through there and type their own lists up for it. So I took 1 page. It's an obnoxious amount of words we have here. So I'm going to pull from the bowl that knows, and we are going to place the word in whatever column we think that word should go. And then we can add doodles to it. People could just talk about it. I imagine that you could color code this. I'm thinking about Monica because she does early childhood. I would imagine Monica could do this as a whole. I imagine anybody actually could do this as a whole class. Like, where do we see our class going? Actually, I love that idea. What do we want to leave? What do we want to keep? And what do we want to gain in the classroom? I mean, that might be a little deep for little kids, but I could see you doing this with my classroom. I would love that.
So with Carrie's template, like in Canva, you can just go ahead and upload that template. Obviously, you could recreate it too. I didn't. I just picked a shape and just repeated it. And so I did like the paint swipe.
I love that.
But I set it up pretty quickly too.
Yeah. So are you going to do like leave, keep, gain?
Yeah. So this one says leave.
Oh, fun.
And then this one says keep. And then this one says gain.
Oh, I love it. Very clever. All right. And I think I'm just going to use my trusty glue stick on my end.
I love that.
All right, here we go. All right, the first word is routine. So we're going to leave, keep, or gain our routine. I guess you could talk about any routine, right?
You could, yeah. So I'm going to keep my routine, and I think for my image, I'm going to add my weightlifting routine that I have. Okay, so I'm going to tell you right now, for your kiddos who like to create but don't like to draw, I'm feeling this 100%.
It makes you feel really good as a creator, right? Like,
It does, yes.
You're like, whoa, look at me go. This is pretty.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm liking this a lot.
Well, I think my creative routine, I'm going to definitely keep.
I love it.
I like that a lot.
Yeah.
And I also feel like in terms of like, how do I want to put this? How do I want to, I'm going to put my really bad muscle arm here. Not that I mean, physically, my physical routine needs improvement, but I have a feeling the bowl will give me some ways to, go that direction. But I feel like I, as a creator, finally have a really good routine where I don't get burnt out very often. Like, I know when I need to pause, and then I know when I can keep creating. So that takes a lot of years to get that way, but I finally am there. So
good. Good.
Yeah. All right. Oh, risks.
Ooh.
That's a good one. I'm going to put that in the gains column.
I also put that in the gains column.
I feel like COVID made me scared to do stuff, not in terms of like health wise, but in terms of like putting myself out there as a creator or as a teacher with knowledge to share. Does that make sense?
Yep.
I think we've talked about that before, maybe privately, but.
So I am putting a pin in quill just because it was there and I thought it was really cool. But one of the risks that I want to work on is getting this book idea that's in my head out.
Ooh.
So
I did not even know what it is, do I?
We've kind of talked about it before, but it's been marinating up there, and marinating makes things delicious and tasty, but if it marinates for too long, it starts getting stinky. So
What a great analogy. I love that.
So eventually it has to get out of your head or it just turns nasty. So
You're right. I love that analogy. I've never heard. Did you make that up all by yourself?
I did. I did.
That's glorious. The world according to Mandy.
That's right. Who knew?
Who knew you were full of so much wisdom?
Who knew?
Okay, I'm done for today.
And done. Thank you guys so much. We'll see you next week.
I love that idea. Okay, here we go. We're going to keep going. It's just so powerful. You're right, they do die. Okay. All right, our next word is increase.
Increase. That one's hard.
That is hard because if there's something that's increasing and it's bad, can you really leave it? Because some things you can't. I mean, I know, like, you know, like family pressures or certain family pressures, you can't really leave. You can try to do something about them, but they're there. I'm going to try to stick with the positive. We'll see how that goes.
Okay.
I'm going to try to increase my steps.
Oh, I like that.
Because I am very sedentary. I don't know if I've shared this analogy with you, but if drawing was an exercise, I would be ripped. Like if reading was an exercise, Mandy,
I would be, oh my gosh,
ripped.
Yes.
Right? But
absolutely.
Unfortunately, we have to move other parts of our body for those health benefits, right?
But I do get a fair amount of steps.
You are very good at it. I am not. I am more sedentary than I need to be. And so I just need to get out there and start walking. And I need to get into a routine. I know that. And when I do it, I'm happy.
But part of that is because my job lends itself to a lot of walking.
Yes.
And so I would like to increase, I would, so I'm going to call it gain. I would like to increase the meditation time, which is hard for me because meditation requires you to not be moving, which is not me. I've come to the realization this year that I may have ADHD probably my whole life and I didn't realize it. TikTok is enlightening. And TikTok will be like, you have ADHD if you do these things. It's like, I do all of those. That makes sense.
Yes.
So anyway, meditation is hard for me because I have a difficult time shutting off my brain. I have also been told by my health coach that I need to do that to quiet my brain, reset my body. And so that's my increase. I've been trying it. I'm not being successful at it, but they say if you keep going, it gets better.
I think it's either both things, right? They say if you keep trying them, they get better, right? Exercise and meditation.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
All right. What do we got? Oh, joy.
Just
What a
gonna
good
leave
word.
that behind. I'm just kidding.
What's that?
I'm just gonna leave that behind.
No more joy for us.
That's right. Well, so that one's hard because I kind of want to keep the joy that I have,
Mhm.
but I also kind of want to gain more. Like it's never bad to gain joy.
No, but then you have to think about like, then where is it missing if you need to
Right.
gain it?
I'm going to put it in keep because
Me too. I'm pretty happy with the joy that I have in my life.
Me too. And I know I've said this a lot of times with my new position, but I feel so very blessed, so very lucky to have landed in the position that I'm in. And it brings me a lot of joy. So,
yes.
I don't know how to.
I know.
Joy.
I don't know how to draw joy either. But I was also thinking too that I need to increase. I'm okay. Like you and I are solid because we are who we are, but I could do better on relationships, and relationships bring you joy. So I'm going to draw something in here in the middle besides the walking about relationships. They're so tricky sometimes, I'm telling you. People are complicated.
We sure are.
You know, it could just be easier.
So James says he saw a TikTok thing. If you cover one eye, it slows down the inner dialogue. It might work. So James, you're going to laugh at this so much. My husband looked over at me the other night and he's like, "Why are you reading with one eye closed?" Because I can concentrate better. I didn't realize I did it, but I do read with one eye closed a lot.
Interesting.
I read with my left eye. I close my right eye when I read sometimes.
Huh.
So that's interesting. I wonder if it does slow down. I wonder if that's why. Like I read faster with one eye closed. It's just goofy. And now I'm very aware of it because when he asked me about it, I was like, "What do you mean?" And then I was like, "Oh, I have one eye closed." And now I pay attention to it. I do it a lot.
Huh.
I know. So that's good to know, James. Now there's a reason. My body just did it. So
very interesting. I did not know that.
Isn't that interesting? I'm gonna have to look it up now. So
we'll have people will watch this and then they'll look and they'll find research and we'll be like, students who read with one eye closed do better attend. We'll have a bunch of classes like this. I wonder if it makes you hyper focus, like the
James
tunnel.
says he's just walking around with one hand over an eye. It does mess with your depth perception when you do that.
We'll come into classes with kids with patches on. What are you doing today? Well, they said this increases attention.
So, okay, guys, it's time to read. Get out your book and your eye patch.
Be safe.
True. And the increase of students falling down the stairs has been unbelievable.
Kids are bumping into each other because they have the different. No, but I wonder, like, even just when I tried this, I wonder if it's like a funnel kind of approach. Like you have to hyper focus so that it, right now my old eyes can't see right. My one eye, because I kept changing which eye I was covering. So now my eyes are going like this, like tuning in.
Well, and I also wondered, so I have what's called monovision contact. So one contact sees up close and one contact sees far away.
Eye patch. You would have to change your eye patch if you wanted to focus far away. It would have to cover one eye.
I would. And so usually I read at night, I take my contacts out. And that's a lot of times when I close one eye. So at first I thought maybe it was because it's the dominant eye that I usually read with anyway. But this is the right eye is the one that I usually read with. but this is the one I close when I'm reading without contacts in. So that's not it, because I should be closing the left eye and reading with my right, because that's the one I read with during the day. I know.
You're cracking me up. That's so funny.
I've got to dig into this now. So much to talk about. I'm so excited.
You need an eye patch on your page somewhere.
Maybe I'm not weird. That's not true. I'm weird.
You could have your meditation with an eye patch on it.
I'm looking up eye patch. So you can pull another word, but I'm
we
looking
were drawing this at this point. We'd have a marinating chicken with an eye patch on.
We also true.
All right, you're search for your eye patch.
Oh, that's an ugly eye patch. Let's try this one. Nope. Yeah, you can keep going. I'm just looking for an eye patch.
All right, the next word is spirit. I'm not sure why I decided to keep this one on the list.
Spirit.
Spirit.
We've got spirit. Yes, we do.
How about you?
I don't know. Do I have spirit?
You do on Doodle and Chat.
This is my normal goofy self.
I could do better. I'm not a great have school spirit person. I mean, I'll wear my shirts. I'm very proudly wear my shirts on Friday, but I'm not a big when we have your phone went dark.
Oh. Is it back?
No.
Okay. I think I forgot to put it on do not.
So it's asleep.
There we go.
There we go.
Back.
I'm not a great when we have spirit days, I'm not great at dressing up. Really just don't like it very much.
I do.
But maybe I could gain some spirits. Let's say that. I could try a little bit harder. I don't really want to, but maybe I'll try because it's good for the building. So and in my house, I'm not a really big. I know you are. I'm not a big decorator of things, and my kids, especially Annabeth, really loves that stuff. So I could do better at having more holiday seasonal spirit.
There you go. Spirit with antlers. So we did a 12 days countdown at our school for the holidays, and I already had quite a few Christmas shirts because when you can make shirts, it's a little bit out of control.
Yes.
And so I already have quite a few Christmas shirts. I have just a dedicated bucket that I pull out during the Christmas.
That's awesome.
And so there were 12 days, and I was like, I probably can wear a different shirt every day. And so when it came to one of the days was Chiefs Day. And for that day, I just wore a Chiefs shirt that I have. But the Chiefs played on Christmas this year. So I made a Chiefs shirt that has a Santa hat and lights around the Chiefs logo. So next year for Chiefs Day, I actually have a Christmas shirt to wear. And then for the Spirit Day, so we have one where we just wear orange and black. I made a Grinch, but the Grinch is orange because that's the colors of my school, holding a little Christmas ball that says PCHS. So
I bet you people were all over that.
They were like, why didn't you offer to make us one? And I was like, well, because I made it last night. That's how I roll. I need it the next day. Let's make it tonight.
Yes.
So
that's awesome.
So yeah, I love Spirit Days. Got some light up headbands for Sparkle Day, and I went all out. I dressed up like Cousin Eddie. Bathrobe, hat, the works.
Nice.
Also, high school kids don't know who Cousin Eddie is. So
I know it's really unfortunate.
That was sad.
I saw a reel where a family had Christmas and everybody had to dress up like somebody from Christmas Vacation. It was hysterical.
Yeah, I absolutely love that movie. But maybe, so I dressed up in the bathrobe and the hat. Maybe next year I need to have the white shirt with the black dickie underneath it. Yeah. I think more people know Cousin Eddie that way.
You could carry around a coffee cup and a cut up hose, So
Yeah.
it looks like you're
Well, I had my coffee cup. I didn't have the hose because I had to drag it around. I had to drag it around the school. And so it's really difficult, to carry it around, and
yeah, it might be hard.
it
Might
was
be
it
hard.
was. So we haven't left anything.
No, we haven't, not yet.
Okay.
Last year, I mean, it's hard. Like I have to go back. I mean, I say that last year was a good year, but there were some hard parts. They're just far away. I'm in the good parts right now. All right, time.
Hmm.
I mean, everybody wants to gain time.
Yeah, but everybody has the same amount of time. So to me, that's how you use your time.
True.
And so I know what I should say, because especially on days where I'm really tired, like I've had to deal with kind of a lot at work, which by the way I love, but it's still emotionally draining.
Mm-hmm.
I will come home sometimes and just spend what I consider an obscene amount of time on social media. But the fun part of social media, I look at projects. I not going to lie, I enjoy watching very ripped guys dance. Um, I love to watch people cook with their recipes and stuff, which is why TikTok really fits my personality so well, because I love to watch short clips of things. It fits my, like, if somebody starts talking and we're approaching the 3-minute mark, I don't care what you're saying, I'm going to keep scrolling because
Agreed.
it's too much for me.
Yes.
So I should say spending as much time as I do on social media, but I don't feel like that's a bad thing for me because it does help me relax. It is part of my relaxation.
Yeah. No,
So
and I'm happy with my time too. I like I said, I'm pretty good at balancing stuff at this point. It could be a little bit more focused sometimes, but sometimes I'm like, is that the old way of me thinking? Like be productive all the time. So it's
yeah.
hard to know. But I'm happy with the time that I use. I think I'm very efficient at school, at my work, at my job, at teaching in the classroom. I'm really good at using my time there, almost to the point where I'm exhausted when I get home. So, but it's only out of self-preservation so that I don't have to do anything at home.
I am also very efficient at school.
If I was as efficient at school, if I was as efficient at home as I was at school all day, I would be exhausted. So I just think
Yeah.
I come home and I just need to untap,
Yep, same. But I am also very efficient at school.
Yeah, agreed. All right, let's keep going.
That's why my house is dirty.
Well, and that's what I mean. Like, so like, I remember when my kids were young, I had this image of what my house needed to look like and what it needed to be like and how much time we needed to spend cleaning. And I'll tell you, I spend a lot less time cleaning than I used to. It's not the house that I'm always really happy people can come over and visit, but I've had to change my expectations because I've also decided I would rather draw sometimes than go scrub the kitchen floor. And you know what? Everything is okay and life goes on. So it's just, it's a balance,
So James also has some of these deep thoughts, and I love this because I actually been thinking about this lately too, but I hadn't thought about what he said. Thinking about the ratio, why time seems to speed up as we age. Every new day is a smaller percentage of our entire life. But that's a very good way to think about it. The more years we live, each day is a smaller percentage.
True.
Yeah.
Which is probably why, like, I reflect on the cleaning part or things like that. Like, is the need for me to clean really more important than the drawing that I want to do? Well, no, I want to do the drawing because the other thing will just be okay, right?
Yeah, it'll be there. We can clean tomorrow.
Yeah, it'll get done when it needs to. When somebody comes over, we'll clean really fast.
That's right.
My giant piles of laundry that have been getting washed all winter break will get folded tomorrow. And I'm telling you, they are giant, like almost up to my chest. But it's like, it's there. You need clean clothes. They're there.
You just go dig for it. It's okay.
It'll get folded.
Doodling
That's what
is
a spray
more
bottle
important.
and a dryer's for.
That's right. That's right. Doodling is always important. And doodling, in my opinion, is also self-care for some people. And for
Agreed.
me, doodling is self-care. For
Agreed.
Carrie, doodling is self-care.
Yeah. I love, what's that?
For James, doodling is self-care.
Yes.
So
yes. Yeah. And I love drawing and creating. And
Yep.
it's getting more and more. Like I'm gonna have to start limiting it a little bit because it's on my mind all the time, which is not a bad thing. But yeah, whatever. It is what it is, right? That's life. That's being parent, Yep. All right. Our next word is job.
I'm gonna keep my job.
I want to keep my job too.
I love my job. You know what? That would have been different for me last year.
Yes. I'm gonna say gain for job only because I've been doing a lot of reflecting about my job, and I love my job. I mean, I love it very, very much. But I'm in my 25th year, and I'm in the same building I've been in for 24 of those years. And I'm starting to realize that I do want to do a better job as not like a identified leader in the building, but as a leader. And so finding my niche with that. We also have a teammate of mine who is retiring this year. And she's a really solid part of our team. And so when she leaves, I'll be the senior person on our team. Not that people are going to lean into me like you're the leader, but I would like for them to. And how do I want to be that leader on the team? So
nice. Yeah. I like that.
Thank you.
I just want to keep getting better at my new job.
Yeah.
And I am so lucky to have a team that is willing to work with me and help me get better at my job in a very kind, fostering way. So I also don't like that I can't get that centered. Oh, well, we're just going to move on. Leave it. James says he might need to leave his doodling subscription box. I haven't left anything. Now, I've been kind of reflecting over this as we've been going. I'm like, I wonder what I would leave. And there are a couple things that I would leave. But I think over the last 3 or 4 years, I have been purging things in my life that don't fit what I want to do also.
Yes. And maybe what we could do too is when we get to the, maybe we give this another 5 minutes. And then if the leave keeps being empty, maybe we could reflect just
right
out loud about what we might leave.
Yeah.
It was funny when I was making the list, I went back and forth. I mean, I had many versions of the list that I was going to do, but I found it very tricky to hit every student, and to consider everybody's path, because I really did want to do like kind of a leave, keep, gain for like home, family, and school. But when you're a teacher, part of those things make me feel like that's not my lane to go in. And it's just, you're coming back from break and maybe a teacher does this activity. Kids don't need to be thinking about what they want to do with their family and leave with their family. Like it's too deep for a teacher relationship. I want relationships with my kids, but some of that is better left.
Yep.
I don't know, to a different time. So, and I also didn't want this activity to feel goal setting heavy.
Yeah.
We're just thinking, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So,
and you know what? It has, like, when we got to joy, when we talked about increase, like, what does that mean to you? So some of these words are open enough that you could think about what that means for you.
Yeah. Yeah. Or even now that I'm thinking about it too, a teacher probably could take our list of words, and there's like 2 pages of lists, pick 10 of them and do like increase and decrease, maybe pick 10 words, and then you want to increase something or decrease something, And
Yeah.
maybe not even do the leave, keep, gain. Maybe just use the words. What do
Yep.
we want to leave, increase, and decrease? What makes you
Yep.
joyful or sad? Which one do you want to pick? I don't know.
I like that too.
Yeah, I don't know. Do you want more time in your life or less time in your life? I don't know. I don't know how that idea would go, but
No, I
it's
think that would be okay. I mean, anything like that helps students just think and reflect is good.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just making me think there's lots of different things you could do with this too.
Yeah.
Like I really do think about like my students in my classroom, and we could go through each class period, and it would be hard. It would be challenging as a teacher to listen to things that they want to leave, but at least I get to hear, like, what do we think about our routine? Is there anything in it that we want to leave, keep, or gain? Like, you could just talk about little parts of it with a classroom dynamic that might need it,
Yeah.
Or even just approaching the idea of leave, keep, gain when it comes up in a classroom where students are, because I try to keep a pretty open classroom. If somebody doesn't like the way I'm teaching or something I'm doing, tell me.
Yep.
And we'll have a conversation about it. And then we can talk about what parts of it we want to leave, keep, or gain. And you talked about that your school does this all the time after meetings.
We do. So yeah, at the end of the meeting, they do plus minus delta from everything. What information or what do you want to add after sitting through this professional development? What do you want to stop doing? And then how, or something that you just want to change, like you're already doing it, but you want to change it up. And they put it up on the wall and give us sticky notes, and then rewrite and reflect over, here's what we're going to do with it. I love that. Like they did at the very first meeting I was in, and they're like, yeah, they've done this for a long time.
I like that idea. I might have to sit with it a little bit because I also like the idea. I have all my students during our 10th hour period, and it just happens to be our resource class, which is a time to work on homework and get organized. And we could just do this as a daily thing. What do you want to keep from today? What do you want to gain? Maybe what do you need that didn't work? And what do you want to leave?
Yep.
It could be a fun way to reflect on a day.
It could be.
All right. I think we talked about this a little bit, but self-care came out of the bowl. I was hoping it would. The bowl knew.
It did.
I do need to work on my self-care. I'm not, aside from the drawing, I'm not a super big on taking care of myself and making time for myself. It's not the best at it, finding time for just me.
Well, I'm going to put it in gain, not because I don't already focus on it, because I do, but because I could get better at it. And so I like I said, I have a health coach for a variety of reasons. And that's something at the end of this last year, she really challenged me about, was my self-care routine. And even talking with the meditation, like I've done things, watching TikToks is self-care for me. Reading is self-care. I started crocheting again, because I love to create. Creating is my self-care. My creativity can be in anything. I could build furniture. I could make a t-shirt. I could sew a quilt. Like I just love to create. But you also have to have time to do that. And sometimes you're sacrificing other things. And for me, it's the balance between working out, which is also self-care, or mentally letting my mind do what it needs to do to be healthy. So
yes, definitely a hard balance. I can empathize with that struggle. All right. Should we do one more and then maybe talk about just name one or two leaves if we're comfortable with that?
Yeah.
Oh, this is a good one to end on. Play.
Play.
Play. The ball is so good to us.
I probably need to gain that.
I do too. I will say that this more directed activity has offered me more insight.
Yep.
Than I thought it would.
Yep.
So maybe having a gazillion pieces of paper in the bowl was better than me funneling it down to 10 things. You know?
Yeah. They look kind of like Uno cards. Because I also love to play games, and I just don't do that as often. Like,
I was thinking the same thing. Another reason for us to live close together.
That's right.
You know?
That's right.
Yeah. I love playing games. We play a lot of games in my classroom, but I tend to be the facilitator and not the person actually playing. And last night, Annabeth and I spent some time with her boyfriend's family playing lots of board games, and it just reminded me about it's just a lot of fun.
It is a lot of fun.
So many moments.
Yes. And so for Christmas, we got some of the Dominion expansion packs. So we've played a little bit more Dominion lately, but
nice.
I'd love to keep playing some games.
Yeah. And then I haven't told you, I know you used to play Stardew Valley. I love Stardew Valley. Like, I'm obsessed with it. So I have my own world. So many hours that I've put into it, I don't even want to say. It's an obnoxious amount, but I love it. And I'm not even close to like completing the game. I just love playing it. It's just my mindless thing, right? But yesterday, Annabeth and I started our own world together, and we spent hours doing it. It was so fun. It's just, I forget, it's just playing, doing things that everybody wants to do together is just a really fun thing, you know?
I love Stardew Valley, and my daughter actually started a new world. And so the other day she's like, you need to pick up Stardew Valley again. I'm like, I do. I could start my world over too. But I am a complete person. Like, I want to get it done.
Yeah.
And so sometimes I lose the joy of the building part because I'm like, I've got to get to the next level. I've got to get to the next task. I've got to do, because that's how my brain works.
Yes.
And she loves to just build the worlds.
Yes. And so it's funny because I've watched Annabeth play. She loves it. And I've watched T play, but we never played together. And so when we were on the big screen watching, it's also, I forget how much playing games with other people gives you so much insight into them. So here I am cleaning it's a farming game for friends who don't know what it is. So I'm cleaning my land, getting it all set so I can, so I can farm that first thing of parsnips so I can get all that gold. And then Annabeth's off. She's done one row and then she's off on a quest. She's getting all this stuff for other people and building the town. And T's, kind of a hot mess, just doing a little bit of everything. But it's so fun. You forget how fun it is to watch people play games, because when you do that, it's just fun to just see how their personalities are,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now you make me want to go get Stardew Valley out.
I have a Switch. I use T Switch. We could play together,
We could. Absolutely. We need to do that. I'll get it out. I'll have to.
In our spare time. But I see, and the funny thing about like those kind of games like Stardew Valley, I have to limit myself. So like that's the only game that I allow myself to play digitally. Like I'll play other games, like we love collab games, like we love Overcooked and Moving Out. So we love collab games, but in terms of like build like games that you could spend lots of time playing, I have to it's bad. Like it's really bad. So like there was a farming game on my phone. I could only have that on my phone, and that's the only game. Like if I wanted to play Candy Crush, only Candy Crush can be played, and then no Stardew. So like I have to, I know myself badly.
That's a good limit. That's a good limit.
I have a 1 game limit.
So I also went through, oh gosh, now I can't remember what it is. On the little island, like you have your own island.
Yes, I know what you're talking about. With the bells and yes, I can't remember what it's called either. T loves it.
Yes. Well, so I have that too. And I have like my island is done, and I'm kind of to the point where I would have to just like wipe my island out and start over, because once you have it all done, like there's really nothing else that you can do with it.
Yeah.
But sometimes I just log in on my Switch and I'm like, I just want to go back and look at my little world. I have my little coffee shop set up and my little fish tank sitting around where I built like my little aquarium. And yeah,
Animal Crossing, right?
Animal Crossing. Yes.
Yes.
That's
No,
it.
and I really do want to try that game, but I can't.
But
I
see,
remember.
that's just me. I got it done. Like that's my mentality. Like I got it done. I just kept going. But my kids played that with me too. And so sometimes of an
So fun.
evening, we would go to each other's island so that you could look for shooting stars. And
Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
we played that together and it was fun. But then once my island was done and there wasn't really anything else for me to do except delete, like start tearing things down. Well, I don't want to tear things down. I wouldn't do that. So then I kind of lost interest because my checklist was done.
Yeah, I hear you. I hear you.
So-
I'm not a huge checklist person. I don't know. I just like the whole running of everything, you know?
Yeah.
And then I'll find something else out and I'm like, oh, that's fun, but I'm good with what I'm doing, you know? So
Yeah.
there's so many things on Start. Like my kids will say, and I tell it when they show how much time you spent on Stardew Valley, they're like, you haven't completed the game yet, Mom? Like everything that I'm like, no, not even close. Because I'm not really a quest person, you know, because if I go on a quest, then my crops might die, and I really like my crops living. It's just, I love it all. I love game mechanics. It's just fun. It's fun stuff.
Okay, so Operation James, I'm gonna be honest with you. That game stresses me. Huh? Oh, that's sorry. That is Keisha. Keisha, that stresses me out.
Me too.
Operation stresses me out so bad.
But those are solid games. They really are fun, and I'm with her on that. Like the playing the games together and then the chatting it just allows. It's just so fun.
It is. It is. I still love Candyland.
Yeah.
Like that is a fun one where you can just play and you can chat. I agree with Keisha. That's amazing.
Yes. All right. So I don't even know if we want to talk about leaving. Why would we want to Debbie Downer it if we're on a positive little streak, right?
That's right. Let's not. Like I have it in my head and that's okay. It's going to stay there because it was already one of my goals. So
what's that?
I have a leave
for
the year. That was one of my goals. And so that's okay.
Yeah. I mean, also like this is just a great. Yeah, like I'm just thinking seeing Keisha, I think is making me think about the not letting the leave, but being grateful for all the things that we get to keep and gain, you know? I like that. I actually like that as an idea of just keeping, right? So like a kid could pull from their pile and just read it and like, is this something I have in my life? I want to keep it, you know? Yeah. And do it as an act of gratitude. Oh, I like that idea a lot. You could just use it as an act of gratitude, right?
Yep. I agree. I really liked doing it this way. I've never just used Canva to create instead of drawing. And I found it a lot easier to think about what I was doing instead of, because before I would think about it and then I would also think about how to draw it.
Yes.
With this, I just thought about what image I wanted to represent it. So for students who get stressed out about the drawing part, this was such a great experience for me.
Yeah, agreed. I love Canva. Yeah, it's definitely very accessible for sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, this was a fun one.
It was.
I liked it.
Me too.
All right, Doodle and Chat.
2024. I said I was looking. I don't have 2024 on there.
That's
so
okay.
Put that on there, but okay.
So if you were here with us and you did our activity Leave Keep Game and you want to share it out on Twitter or any social media outlet, your favorite, I guess, at this point, hashtag Doodle and Chat or tag Doodle and Chat on it. We're all over the place on social media because we always love to see
everywhere.
We're trying. It's a hard market right now to be connected with people. Change is hard, but we'll get there. We always love to see when people are here with us and they create with us. And then you can join us back here next Saturday morning at 9:33ish, actually every Saturday morning, but next Saturday morning at 9:33ish, where we are celebrating our 2-year anniversary of Doodle and Chat with Friends. We had 41 people that we doodle and chatted with last year on Doodle and Chat with Friends. Oh, no, yeah, 41, which means that's like 82 people. Are we getting close to 100? Will we hit 100 in 2024?
We might. We'll have to count.
Yeah. That's exciting.
That is exciting.
Yeah, and we're working on educators for this year. We have Joe Sanfilippo, who's joining us on the 20th of this month. Is it? No, is he? No, he's the 27th. So that's exciting. And we've got plans already. We've got friends for February and March. Mandy doesn't even know that. We're getting there. It's just very exciting. So if you if you've been part of Doodle and Chat with Friends, or you want to learn more about it, or just be part of the celebration, we'll be here talking about guests and questions that they answered, and having all kinds of fun, just being really happy, doing what we love, which is Doodle and Chat with Friends, and being here with everybody and having fun.
I'm excited.
Me too. So we will see everybody back here next Saturday at 9:33ish, and have a great rest of your weekend, everybody.
Happy New
Bye.
Year.
Happy New Year.